I'm Casey and this is April Devitt, and we train horses for a living and have for 25 years. We're also AQHA judges, and today we're going to try to give you some tips and pointers on how to get a finished look on your show horse and help you get that presentation that everybody's looking for. First impression is very important. Oftentimes a horse's mane is too thick to band over and get that nice, tight, clean look. So we'll pull the mane. When you pull a mane, you want to start with your underneath hairs and your longer hairs. Not too many at a time. Pull the other hairs up and pull down. Just like that. And work your way all the way up the mane, getting it the proper thickness and texture that you want before banding. You can also use your comb, push your mane up and wrap it around your comb and pull down. So let's say you have a horse that doesn't have a thick mane. April now is using what we call a thinning comb, and it does not cut it off straight edge. It gives it more of a natural look, but it shortens it and cleans it up. And she'll get it somewhat to the distance that we would want prior to banding it. April's adding a little banding spray. Water work fine. Anything to weight the mane down prior to banding. Don't get in a hurry. Take a little piece at a time. Pull your band up and pull your mane down at the same time you're pulling your band up. Each time she does it and wraps it around, that band is actually going up above the last strand. Notice how she pulls down on the mane each time she pulls it up. And then she might split the hairs as you saw her do right there, and it'll lay nice and tight to the neck. Trying to take even and equal measures each time she uses her comb. So therefore when you wet it, it makes it so much easier to get an even look to your mane. So after pulling the mane and getting it the proper thickness we want, if need be, or using the thinning shears, April's banded. And now for the finished look, once it's banded down tight to the neck, she'll use some scissors, but you notice she's not going straight across. We don't want a false look to this mane. We want it to look as natural as we possibly can. So she'll use her blades going up more than across.
Okay, to finish off, we have done the banding on the horse's mane and all. Now on the forelock, sometimes you get the really bushy forelocks, and there's many different ways. You can put in a single band and make it simple so it's tidy. I like to put in 3 bands, and what I'll start with is I start at the top here, and I get 1 band, and you take a small amount of hair, and you keep your band as neat and straight as you can, and you add 1 band, and then I'll pick up a little bit more hair to do a second band, and this just kind of makes it a little finished, a little fancier look, tightens the hair all up, and in your pleasure classes it's not bouncing and flopping around when the horse is loping or trotting, and makes a little tight look to the forehead. And then this is the 3rd band. You go around all of the hair and lay it down as straight down the middle as you possibly can so it stays tight.
Hoof black can dry a horse's foot out. So for the all-around events, to get that dressed up and finished look, we'll sand the horse's foot first and try to get off the rough edges. This oil right here she's putting on, as you see, shines up and gives a finished look, and it's proper for any of the riding events that we do. For a slightly more finished look, we'll use the hoof black. The events that I would suggest using the hoof black in would be the halter, where there's really close inspection of the horse, or the showmanship at halter, both of which are very personal and one-on-one. We've chosen a horse with black legs here, and it does make blacking slightly easier. If you make a mistake, it doesn't run up in the hairline. If you've got a horse with white socks, or even a horse with black socks, it's important that you clip around the cornet band so the hoof black does not move up into the hairline. Naturally, you've started with a clean horse, preferably bathed that day or the day before, and there are products that help enhance the hair coat. Notice how April's putting the product on the brush. If you have a fine-haired horse, this makes for a very nice finished look without getting the globby look. If you have a horse that has any kind of a hair coat at all, or too much hair, this is almost a must. If you put it directly on the hair, you'll get a globby look to the hair coat. April's applying a little highlighter to the horse's muzzle, and it gives it a shiny appearance. Folks, be careful if you have a horse that has a lot of white on his nose. They can get sunburn. You might want to consider a sunscreen. If your horse is out in the sun for a very long time, doing your all-around events, this is something you would want to consider. They will blister. So a well-prepared grooming bag might consist of fly spray, finishing products for the hair, maybe a little mousse to lay your mane down a little tighter, your facial grease to get that finished look to your muzzle and ears, a hairbrush, naturally a hoof pick to make sure your feet are rock free and your horse is prepared to go in, a rag to towel your horse off, maybe a pair of scissors to clean up your mane. We also have some chalk to finish off your leg for brightening up your white socks or cleaning up a little scar or something. Hoof black. This is a well-prepared bag, and you're ready for the moment in case of emergency. So hopefully today we've given you a few tips that might aid you in getting your horse prepared for the show pen. Remember, the first impression is so important. You and your horse, clean and turned out well, will make that first and hopefully lasting impression that you're looking for.